I'm starting it.
Oh shit. All right, let's go. What's up, everyone? Back again. Fantasy Suites. How we doing tonight, ladies?
Good.
I'm ready to dive in.
All right. You guys want to just dive in? I mean, honestly, I think I have a way different view than both of you on this episode.
Okay, I think we just need to start out how the dates went. So let's start first with Brandon.
Yeah,
What are your thoughts?
I thought it was okay the whole time. I just think he's 12 years old and Michelle's 35.
That's what I've been like thinking. I'm like, Michelle, she looks like she's 32 and he looks like he's 22. So yeah. I know they're very close in age, but they just look so weird together.
He gives me like fetus energy. I can't.
And the way he acts, he was kind of like almost love bombing her, not necessarily, just like with his words. And I was like, this is a little much, buddy. I don't know. I know we're on the Bachelorette and things move fast, but I was just taking him back a little bit.
He just seems like this is the first time he's ever been in love. Like
he's like a puppy dog, literally.
And he was like, "I'm in love with you, Michelle," and she was like, "Oh, I'm not quite there yet. I am falling in love with you."
And she picks him over Joe. She picks him over Joe. Does make sense. Well, we'll get there.
I knew Joe was going home. I knew Joe was going to go home. I just had a feeling. I didn't want it to be him.
She's going to end up with Nayte and they're going to be broken up already. Period. End of story.
Why do we even need to have a final episode?
Wait. Let's not skip ahead. Let's keep it on Brandon real quick.
Brandon was just like, there was nothing special. Like, honestly, he was just like a puppy dog in love with Michelle. He's obsessed with her. He would never leave Michelle. Michelle would have to end that relationship before that He is all in on Michelle, which is a good quality in him, but also like, he's just like, maybe his energy, we're just not attracted to that. Like, I'm not interested in that.
I agree with you. The whole date, it just seemed like he was way more into her than she was into him. And it was just like, she thought it was a nice date and she enjoyed it. But like, it's like one of those where it's like, after the date, you're kind of like, how do I tell them that like, I would just fuck you, but like, I can't just say that to her because she's not going to text me back again.
He's just cute to me. I wouldn't even want to fuck him.
Yeah, he is like, very cute. They don't have any sexual chemistry. Like after they had the overnight and they were sitting in the bedroom, I didn't get any like we just fucked vibes. Like no kind of sauce.
I died. I posted it on my Instagram story today. Him waddling in with the freaking breakfast tray. The way he walked in with that breakfast tray literally sent me. I was like, I can't look at this guy.
I think my biggest
made them have that food fight. I was just like, oh my god.
My biggest problem with Brandon, I think, is that like every time he talks as if he's reading a poem to a group of 10 females, right? So it's like he talks like real like slowly, but like he still has that like fuckboy vibe voice to it, and it's like I can't take him seriously, and I just think he is a child the whole time. Now, obviously, like, so do you think, before skipping ahead though, but do you think her and Joe had sex?
No, I think she only fucked Nayte.
No,
I think she only fucked Nayte. Period. End of story. Nayte, we're skipping ahead again, but
okay,
Joe,
so with Brandon,
my only question for why I asked that though is because, do you think she would have actually kept Brandon over Joe if she only hooked up with one of them? And you guys both don't think she hooked up with Brandon, so then I would say she definitely probably didn't hook up with.
If she told Brandon that she hooked up with Nayte, Brandon's earth would be shattered.
That man would end himself right then and there. In the way
done.
I'm skipping ahead again, but the way Brandon gives me those I'm super jealous, not emotionally mature vibes.
Yes.
He's
like,
not emotionally
I'm so in love
mature
with you.
at all.
I'm this, and that. I feel like he is a very, very jealous person. And that could look bad in the long run.
He's just boy. He gives boy energy, not man energy. Boy.
Yeah,
like not to say he wouldn't be like a good friend or like he's not a good brother or cousin, whatever, nephew, uncle, whatever the hell he is. I'm not saying he's any bad of those things, but I'm just saying like I would never date him. And I don't get how Michelle's like attracted to him ever.
There's just no sexual chemistry. There really isn't. I don't see it at all. It's like they're best friends, like you were saying, like the friend energy.
She said that too. She said that he's become a best friend like more and more, which yeah, no. So anyway, should we go to Joe now?
Yeah, we can go to Joe. But I'm gonna say this too though. Like Brandon did his was the horses, right?
Yeah.
And then Joe's was the zip lining. And then Nayte got to go fucking sailing on the
because Nayte is number one. He gets number one treatment.
I'm just saying
hate
that like,
guy.
He gets all the water dates. Have you noticed
Joe and
Brandon?
True, yeah, he has. But Joe and Brandon kind of got fucked from the start. Like zip lining. Like how close are you gonna get zip lining?
When it's only horse. One at a time. Yeah,
yes.
they literally. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, they're literally spending no time together because they're doing it separately. You can't do it together. Yeah.
And Nayte is like think of this though also like if you're in a situation where it's like it's super fun, it's super cool, it might not even be the person you're with, but the situation makes it greater than what it is. You start to think that you like that person more than you actually may like that person, right? So if I'm riding a fucking horse with a girl and their horse is riding away, not even by me, and we're barely talking, I'm like, what the fuck? This is kind of weird. If I'm zip lining, I'm like, yeah, this would be fun to do with like my brothers and fucking sisters, not this girl that I'm trying to marry. If I'm on a yacht in the middle of Mexico, I'm sitting there like, yo, this is fucking sick. Like I can see myself.
That's like honeymoon vibes.
Yeah,
they're setting Nayte up for success because they know he's the number one. Like, it's almost like they're separating them on their date. Yeah.
And the way Joe.
Yeah, we're going to Joe.
Yeah, my thing with Joe, I don't think he would have lasted this long in the series without his looks. Minnesota and basketball. That's the only gravity that relationship has had. He has the fucking personality. I tweeted this yesterday of a saltine cracker. I'm like, you give me nothing. The most excitement I saw out of him was him literally yelling in lowercase.
He's a shy guy. He's a shy guy. I like quiet guys.
No, but even him yelling was awkward. I think like it was. I thought it was awkward as fuck. Yes. But also, she even said, so the Minnesota thing and basketball, she even said when she sent him home, you understand me in a few ways that no one else ever will. Like, basically, you're just saying you're from the same fucking hometown. Like, cool, sick. You both fucking grew up in Minnesota. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but she wants to be a school teacher. She doesn't want to quit her job. She does not want to leave where she's at. Joe literally, logically makes the most that she thinks that what's his face Nayte is going to leave Austin for her and go to fucking Minnesota so she can continue to teach.
Where's Brandon from?
Absolutely not. I don't know, but I saw a TikTok today that it was these girls and they said that they flew home from Vegas, like straight from the club, went to the airport. They were starving, got a Subway sandwich from a random TSA agent. And then they saw him again, like a few months later. And it was Brandon from, yes. Is he a TSA agent? Yeah.
It definitely does not say that.
That's what I was like, what? Yeah.
And then Nayte's in real estate, correct?
Yes.
No, that's Joe. That's Joe.
Joe's in real estate. Yeah. Nayte is a fuckboy is what he does.
Nayte's definitely in like sales or like recruiting or something.
He's got to be in something like that. Yeah.
But
I could probably find out from
Joe. I thought the whole time, Sarah, I was honestly with you. I know, Katie, you like the shy boy vibes, but like that entire fucking date, I was like, this is awkward for me because they're just sitting there and she is like begging and begging and begging and begging and begging and begging, basically saying, if you just like open up and be like a little more fun to be around, I'll probably fuck you and you'll stay around. But it was like sitting there, like she was like waiting and waiting and waiting. And that's just not who Joe is, which is fine.
The only thing Joe even talked about was like, I just want to be an inspiration for athletes that don't go to like the NBA. And
no cap. I think
he's something without your sport. I'm like, oh my God.
He's a little bit of a loser. Joe is like, do I think would I want to settle down with a guy like Joe? No, but does it make sense for Michelle to settle down with a guy like him? Absolutely. It makes the most like long term. Joe, I feel like Joe is one of those guys that he's quiet. I feel like he's someone you could really trust. He just seems like once he's in something, he's in it for the long haul, even though he doesn't say how he feels. He's just like weird in that way. I don't know.
But you think so? He did deny her on Instagram, like
That's
years ago, though, like literally years ago. Who cares? People change years. I could have denied someone years ago on Instagram and found him at the fucking bar and hooked up with them. I guarantee that's happened.
No. What I'm saying though is I think he is way more like not necessarily outgoing. I think he is like a lot smoother with females than we think, though. Like I just don't think he also liked the aspect
because
of being
he's
on
gentle.
TV.
Girls like gentle guys. I like a gentle guy.
The only good thing I saw with Joe was the morning after. Like that morning after seemed like raw, real. Like they were laying down, facing each other. It seemed really intimate and like they kissed.
Yeah.
Like that was good. And so I was like, okay, maybe. Because from the way the show like set up this episode, before this, I was thinking Joe was going home, but the way they made Brandon look, I was like, maybe Brandon is going home. But Michelle has said to Brandon and Nayte that she is falling in love or in love.
Yeah.
And she's never said anything like that to Joe. And Joe hasn't ever reassured her with those feelings either. You know what I'm saying?
I'm really interested. I've been saying this since I saw everything happen. I can't wait to see what Joe says in after the final rose. Like, I hope he actually spills some tea or says something. Like, what was going on in his head? Like, how did he actually feel about it? Because
there's not a single thought behind that man's eyes. Like,
no, I disagree. No, I disagree. Katie,
no,
I agree.
When Michelle, no, he has feelings. He just doesn't talk about them. He's one of those. Like he bottles it all up. The look that he gave Michelle when Michelle picked Brandon over him was like, are you kidding me? This is embarrassing. Like, is this a joke? Like that's the look that he gave her. Like
that was like the first time he showed a lot of emotion. But then he even said in the car, which I agree with, he was like, I would love to know what was said during that time that Brandon took Michelle off by himself. And
now he knows.
And honestly, yeah, now he knows. But I actually think he might say I don't know if he'd come out and say anything because I don't know how much he really truly liked being on TV, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's someone who's just going to drop off. You know what I compared him to? Do you remember Kelly Flanagan from Peter Weber season?
Yeah.
Yes,
she was so normal. She was so normal. Joe is the Kelly Flanagan of this season, period. Like they kind of, I mean, she's still friends with people in the Bachelor franchise, but she hasn't dated anyone aside from Peter for a minute there. Like she hasn't dated anyone else in the franchise. And I think Joe is going to be similar like that. He probably won't go on Bachelor in Paradise because he doesn't want all of that. Like Kelly Flanagan that did the same thing. They're just normal professionals that like have some friends that they click with in the franchise, but for the most part, they're just like hands off after the fact.
I would want to see him in that environment though, just for like see what
I wish I could. Yeah, it would be interesting to see for sure.
You never know though.
I really don't think he will. If he does, I'll be ecstatic. But like if he doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
that's how
for
I
sure.
feel.
But I think, I don't know. I kind of think this is Michelle's thought process too. Like Katie, you said he's like probably the best choice for her, which I would agree with. But also I think like the moment that they walked into, or she walked into Nayte's date, I think everyone watching was like, she is way more excited and she has way more energy for this date.
Yeah, no, I could tell.
Okay, let's get into Nayte.
Nayte was the clear front runner as soon as his date started. I was like, this show is over. Yeah, why am I wasting 3 hours of my Tuesday next week to know who's going to win and know what's going to happen? They're not going to be together.
Like, I was like, all right, we can send this via email. We don't need anything. Just like in the subject, just put Nayte.
Now the only thing is though, is like, could it be a Peter Weber situation where Maddie goes back to Joe? Maddie says no, not Joe. Yeah, or Brandon. Like Maddie says
back
no.
To Brandon.
You think she'd go back? But okay,
she'd go back to Joe.
Would she go back? Let's just say Brandon's right there, though. She wouldn't be like, let's not get engaged, but let's.
I was literally gonna post this on my Insta the other day, how Ari did this with Becca and Lauren on his season when they went to their like couple hideout house or whatever. And then they filmed the whole thing, Ari breaking up with Becca to go back to Lauren. I want to see Michelle do that to Nayte and go back to Joe. Like, that's what I want to see happen. Because Nayte is, she's gonna see his true colors. I don't think
Nayte is as bad as everyone's making him
bullshit.
out.
You would fucking. So you're just saying this.
Can you hear my case?
You would
Can you hear
fucking
my
say you're
case?
saying this. Go.
Can you
Go.
hear my case?
Go.
Okay,
Go.
so he has had issues growing up where he can't vocalize his feelings, never learned how to do it. He told his stepdad for the very first time that he left him on the hometown date. So
Call bullshit.
No, listen. So him trying to vocalize his feelings on the dinner date of their date was a little cringy and hard to watch. But in the morning, he was like, I think he told her in private, something like that. And in the morning,
Michelle was like,
I am in love with you. I love you so much, Michelle. And Michelle's like, I love you too. Like,
he's
it's
like
so
a kid.
obvious.
He's like a high schooler saying I love you for the first time, though.
Yeah,
Literally is how he's acting.
Okay.
And I don't think we need to pin him as the bad guy quite yet. Yes, he has fuckboy vibes. Yes, he needs a little maturing. I think you can make a case for he's not ready yet. I don't think he is. Yet. But
he's a fuckboy. I guarantee you he ends up cheating on Michelle. I'd put money on it.
Look, I don't think he'll cheat.
He lives in Austin. He lives in Austin, Texas. If you're 20-something living in Austin, Texas, you're hitting the fucking bar scene. And if you're single and you never brought a girl home to your parents, you're definitely hitting the bar scene. Like,
this is what I'm gonna say though. I agree with you. Not bringing a girl home, I think, is like, even if that's just weird, right? Sketchy. Okay, like, but here's my other things. Right. Here's my other thing. Here's my other thing though, is now I'm not even blaming Nate, because for the most part, he's shown who he is every fucking episode. And she just keeps falling more and more in love with him. They went to dinner and she's like, I'm gonna ask him the hard-hitting questions. This will be a very interesting dinner. She asked him, do you think we have anything to talk about? And he said no. He said no. So
he's not serious about this. Yeah.
What I'm saying though is like, he's showing who he is every single episode. So like, I can't even blame him or get mad at him. He is telling you.
It's a smoke screen. But she's literally like blinded by his good looks and his tallness. Well, okay. Like literally, she's blinded by it. She's not hearing him when he says that. His own
parents said he's not
ready, and she still took like, him. Yes,
I know, and I can agree, but like I said, he hasn't had the emotional development that he should have at his age.
He shouldn't be getting that emotional development on a show that ends in an engagement. He shouldn't be using it. He needs a therapist for that. He doesn't need this shit.
Don't go on the Bachelorette.
It's not like Michelle can fix me situation. But I saw this TikTok and it's like about red flags. Like, everyone around you can see it, but when you look at a flag straight on, you don't know what color it is. And so she's standing right in front of the flag.
She's definitely doing that.
Yeah, she's blinded. You want to know what's blocking the red? It's all his good looks and his tallness. Period. End of story. He's a good-looking guy. She can't see past that. Literally, this is maybe Nate is like the hottest guy that Michelle has ever been with. So she's like literally like dying for this opportunity to get with this super hot dude. Like, that could be a thing. Honestly, I've kind of been getting that vibe because she seems like you can, like you said, he says these things that it's like, it's so obvious you're not ready for this. What the fuck is Michelle thinking? But it's like, she can't see past his good looks.
But his good looks, but I also think it's like, I think she definitely thinks like deep down he is a good guy, which I don't, just because you're a fuckboy.
I don't think he's a bad guy. Like I said, I would party with him. I just wouldn't date him. I wouldn't just because
I would fuck him in a heartbeat. But that's
I know you would. But just because he's a fuckboy doesn't make him a bad guy. I'm just saying, like, he's just not ready for a full-blown commitment, which is what this show is trying to make you have, which is completely fine, which he doesn't have to be. But Michelle is also throwing onto him that they have to be engaged, which I hate that part.
And he doesn't give her a clear answer ever too. So that's because
he knows how to play the game.
Yeah, that's the thing that's bothering me, is because of the way he responds to these questions. He tells her what she wants to hear in a roundabout way to make her feel safe. But now, like, we'll see what ends up happening after the final rose. Like,
hey, I mean, Thomas and Becca are happy. Nate could change.
Yeah, and I love Thomas and Becca together. I know that's a little off topic, but that's
I do
kind
too.
Of like a perfect match.
I do too.
And
it still doesn't make sense to me. I hate Thomas. I love him. Fuck Thomas.
To go back where you were saying, like, how oh shit, I just lost it. But I was watching this episode and I was thinking the whole time, I was like, oh, her and Matt James would have been really cute together. And then it finally clicked. I was like,
she came from a season. Yep.
So when I saw Matt
like,
James,
oh my God.
I almost asked him, what do you think about Michelle's season? And then like it popped in my head, oh wait, never mind.
Maybe shouldn't talk about her in front of Rachel.
Yeah. So like I'm like,
sure
oh, never mind.
They probably aren't watching it, or maybe Rachel isn't. Maybe she is though. Like, oh, they probably weren't friends after all that shit.
I don't know.
They were dead. She's not in this. No.
Remembering the season in my own head, I didn't really remember Matt being that into Michelle.
I don't remember Michelle being friends with anyone. Like she never
made it, didn't she?
No, she didn't. She doesn't relate to anyone really.
Essentially, she like, other than honestly, there is so many parts of the show where I'm like sitting there like, wow, she is a grown woman and all these dudes are boys, right? And there's so many parts of like Matt's season where I'm like, she was a grown woman around a bunch of clout chasers and girls who are 24 years old. Now there's a few parts and there's a few other girls that I'm like, okay, no, I agree. They're mature too. But like, then she goes and does stuff with like Nayte and it's like, okay, maybe she's not as grown as I think. But then, so like, I could see why she's not necessarily friends with anyone else. And then I could see why you wouldn't get like a lasting impact of her on that show unless she
was friends with Serena and Brie. They came on to her season and like did a little girl talk thing that was literally nothing. But like, I mean, I don't know about producers or...
When Caitlin and her talked in the beginning of the episode, she literally was saying like, or Michelle, she said at some point, like, I don't want to fall for someone who I have more feelings for than they have for me again. Like that's apparently Michelle's thing that she's had a problem with all of her past relationships.
She's talked about it multiple times.
And that's what's happening with Nayte. That's literally what's happening with Nayte again. And she's too blinded by his good looks to see it. Like,
but every time Nayte said something that she finally was able to get him to say something, you would have been like, the way she talked after it was like, finally, now I can make my decision. Finally. Yeah,
but then we're all sitting at home like, what are you talking about?
Right. Like, but okay, I have this question though, because Sarah, you tweeted it last night and I thought it was a very good question. What date do you think is the best one to have? Now the guys talked about it too, which one you would rather be. And honestly, psychotically, Nayte was like way too okay with like knowing that maybe Michelle is fucking two other guys. And he's
exactly.
Just like, I'm gonna fuck her too.
First or bust. I would only want to be the first fantasy suite date. I'm not being anyone's sloppy fucking second. Period.
That's what I said.
You can have the whole save the best for last thing, but nope, hell no. I'm a Scorpio. Shit, I'm not sleeping at night knowing that.
Second is the worst. Absolutely,
we can agree on that.
Yeah, it's just nothing.
But the first is the best just because now the only thing is the third is the one where it's the last one she does. So it's like if you're trying to marry her,
it's top of mind for her. The last date is going to be the most top of mind person. So,
but in reality, the first one sets the scene. Like if Nayte would have went on the first date, and this is why I think the first date is the best one. If Nayte would have went on the first date, right, and they go on a yacht, and he does everything he did. And they're falling in love right there. They're having a grand old time. She's honestly not going to like her next two dates.
No.
She's going to be like, I'm going to horseback riding. I'm going zip lining. And I already made up my mind.
That happens though, too, that the lead of the show, they'll send people home on like fantasy suite dates because they're just like, I'm just not that into you. And then they end up like going to the finale.
I think it depends on the season and the people because the Bachelor producers are the devils and they work very hard. So
yes, the
way they had this one set up, Brandon being first and obviously not Michelle's top pick and Nayte being last, I think that was the best position to be in for Nayte because it's fresh in her mind. That's all she's thinking about. And then the first 2 dates, she's like, oh, I really want to see Nayte. I want to see Nayte. And you know she's thinking that in the
me personally, not being sloppy seconds. I'm going first or bust. I would I'd go to the producers and say I'm going first or it's a bust.
He has the confidence to handle it.
He does.
So,
Sarah, I'm gonna tell you this.
However you want to put it.
Brandon would have been best served to go last.
I think that Nayte talked himself into being okay with it.
There's
because
no way
at
he's
first,
that okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, that's
well, he was
tough.
fucking with Brandon a little bit. He was like, "Nah, Bert's the best," and he was being like a cocky
I know.
little
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah,
So
he was.
funny.
He
I thought
was.
it was funny because he was obviously just messing with
I
Brandon.
felt like it was
Brandon
obvious.
looked like he was about to freak out, so it made it even funnier.
I felt it was obvious that Nayte and Joe were still somewhat okay and on talking terms, and then as soon as Brandon entered the room, most of the time is when they got like,
It was so awkward because I think
also,
Joe and Nayte are
everything.
boys at the end of the day. Like
they're all friends after it.
They're all friends, but
no, I don't know about
could
Brandon.
not think of something more awkward than just like making you sit and have a conversation.
Yeah. I'd be sitting there mute too, honestly. I would not be okay with that.
And also, like, I don't think either of them really like Brandon because
I don't think so either.
Nayte, like, let's be honest, Nayte knew he was getting picked. Like, everyone thought he knew it. We all know it, right? So, like, when Brandon pulled her away, even Nayte gave a like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what is this shit?" So, like, that's when you could tell, like, okay, he probably doesn't fuss with him. And also, Joe and him's like goodbye was definitely more of a like, hey, we'll definitely talk goodbye than Nayte or Joe and Brandon's. Like,
they didn't like Brandon. It was so funny. I was just watching their interactions and I was like, they literally hate Brandon. Like they're somewhat okay. There's like a little bit of tension between them because they are dating the same girl, but it's not as much as it is between those two and Brandon.
Well, my thing with Nayte,
Brandon versus everyone.
He has the attitude. He'll never say it out loud, but he knows he's better than those two.
And he knows that she likes him more too.
And that's the other thing. Maybe in the back of his head, he's like, maybe I like in his mind, he's like, I could get someone like hotter or more like, I don't know.
He definitely thinks that. He definitely thinks that. He's like, I've been on the Bachelorette now, and if she doesn't pick me, there's 19,000 women who have been in my DMs the past 2 months. Because he's a
fuckboy.
Yeah, Sarah, one of them.
He has no heartbreak about it. Like he's not gonna be down bad when he gets off the show. And doesn't, like, oh God, Nayte. I mean,
Nayte,
honestly, if he does hit you up, let us know.
Come on the show. Come on the show. We'll clip that. We'll clip that and tag him. But this is my thing though. Even if I have the most confidence in the world, a girl told me I am her number one choice no matter what, and she's like, but I'm gonna go have a fantasy suite date with these two guys, I still would be a little bit like, all right, like what if she has the time of her life? I know.
It is what it is.
I know.
I didn't like the way Brandon pulled her aside.
No, that was a bullshit
The way they
move.
hyped it up in the previews, I was thinking like maybe he's sending himself home, or he heard something from like Nayte or Joe, and like just something like really, some drama shit.
He just wanted to make sure she knew she had somebody.
And I'm here for you. I was like, oh my,
I'm here for you if you need a friend. I know this is a hard choice. So even if you don't pick me, just know we're still friends. That's what that conversation was. It was fucking
That was
weird.
A bullshit move. And that's why those guys don't like him though. And I agree. I would hate it too. But
it was a Hail Mary, just as Nayte said.
Few things. One, so next week you see Michelle's mom saying one person's not ready for marriage, and one person, or her dad says she thinks one guy could get really jealous. I mean, clearly it's Brandon's the jealous one and Nayte is not ready for marriage, right? Like,
and imagine if she brought Joe back and all the good praises he would get. I guarantee it. They would have been like, we love him.
What if they do like a Ben thing, like in Tayshia's season, where he like comes back and he's like, please pick me, choose me, love me.
Wait, what if
Katie, that's a good point. If Joe is able to make it to like the parents and everything,
it would have been game over.
He would have been able to steal he would have stole their hearts.
It would have been game over.
And then think about this. It would have been stealing their hearts, and then on the other end they would have been telling her that Nate's not ready. So it was like a lose.
Brandon also, I'm pretty sure, already met her family before. On their one-on-one in Minnesota, literally.
When he had to.
So like he's already met them. Like they already have an impression of him. So, and if they're still having bad like things, having like doubts about him, and they've already met him, like that's not ever good.
Why did that date happen? That's what I want to know. I'm like, why would
I
that
don't
happen?
understand
That's
that
like
either.
forbidden territory in like Bachelor world.
Until the
any
end.
parents until that
Yeah.
ends. So I
Wait,
was
was it Joe or,
and I was like, what?
It was Brandon who met him first?
Yeah. Brandon's the only one that's met the parents.
Yeah.
That's kind of
on
weird.
a one-on-one. Yeah. So they're
like
still saying
in the hot tub, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know why I thought it was Nate. It was Brandon. All right, that makes sense.
But I just don't know why that happened. It doesn't make any sense. I'm like, maybe he does get picked. What if that's like the weird twist ending?
She's gonna pick Nate. They're gonna be broken up. Period. End of story. I literally called this weeks ago. I called this weeks ago. Called it. Fucking called it.
6 months.
I hope no way. There's no way they even make it.
When did they technically
stop
filming? When did they technically stop filming?
It's been months now,
October,
like probably
September?
2 months, 3 months now. Yeah,
Oh,
maybe
they're
3. Yeah, they're for sure broken up now. I'd put money on it, and I hope they filmed it. I'm
the
hoping
breakup.
they
I do too. But
film it like they did for Ari.
For who?
For Ari with Becca and Lauren.
Oh,
you didn't see that.
Yeah.
Iconic
clips
though.
of that. Yeah.
What?
But I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think like with the previews and how everything's gone. Now they always have been able to set stuff up to kind of like trick you, but like it would be very interesting if like somehow all this was Brandon and like Nate's the one that they're like, like, I mean, Brandon
remember
is a
like
child.
Tyler Cameron in for Hannah Brown's season. I was like Tyler Cameron all the way. Like, there's no fucking way it's Jed. And
there's no way it's
Jed.
Brandon. There's no way it's Brandon.
My
you got like
is,
6 minutes, so get your last thoughts in.
Yeah. Well, my thing is for the past few seasons, it's never really ended in like an authentic engagement, and so I think that's what the Bachelor producers are really, really wanting.
Not happening.
I don't know.
It's not happening.
Okay,
even if they get engaged, they're going to be broken up like Hannah Ann and Peter were by the time after the final rose is on. Like literally, they're going to be broken up.
Well, Peter sucks.
But Hannah Ann had a way better reason. I mean, she like just found out that he proposed to basically Maddie over. You know what I mean? Though, like it was, she had a legit reason.
I'd be pissed.
Come on, she got told that she was
Peter.
I would be fuming.
Peter told her to make a decision.
Peter, yeah. But
literally
it's the year of the Pete's. You should go hang out with Pete Davidson. All right. We all think it's gonna be Nate next week.
100%.
3-hour episode next week.
Honestly, 99.999% sure.
I'm more interested in the after because I hope they all come up after. And I honestly do hope they broke up because I don't think Michelle should be with Nate anyways. And Nate, go live your boy life. Like honestly,
yeah, just let him live his life. No shame, no hate, no shade. But like, you just like don't bring it on the Bachelorette? Like you're obviously not ready for this shit. Like take it home. I want to see it end in a good engagement. I want to see some successful Bachelor couple out of the actual Bachelor franchise, not Bachelor in Paradise. Like Bachelor and Bachelor. I want to see something good come out of that show. It never is
forever.
Yeah,
I think we've only gotten like 2 or 3.
Yeah, literally.
Her and Rodney. And honestly, the one that like they're still dating is like the one everyone tried to cancel and get broken up. Like that's one of the last few that have. Yeah. That's one of the last few
really
that
like
have made
them.
it.
And
they're super nice. She's hot.
Kennesaw State is like right up the road from me. And
is
I
that
know
where
exactly
she went?
where. Yeah. So, and she's from Canton or Cumming, Georgia. I don't remember. But anyway, so like apparently that's like a thing here. And like,
it's the South.
Don't really know it's like a racist thing. They're like, oh, we're just throwing a party, show up and wear this. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's a frat party. I hated that she got canceled over going to a frat party. Like when you're in college and you're a girl, just when you're a girl in general, if you get invited to some party by a dude, you're like, let's ride. Like you're just gonna go because that's an exciting thing to do.
Yeah.
But also they tried to cancel her, and Hannah Brown had like 1,000 also pictures of the same thing, and no one said a word about it. Like that's what I kind of found fucked up about it.
They all bounce back anyway.
Yeah. So they're good now. But all right.
Yeah, I love Rachel.
You two want a happy ending. You're not gonna get it next week, so maybe Colton season, but that doesn't sound great either. My last words are Clayton, Jesus Christ. Clayton,
Michael, we talked about this.
I've done this to Katie like all year too. When we found out it was Clayton's,
we both fucked up his name so many times. I'm like pushing it out of my memory. Like,
but
I'm excited for that season.
I did find it funny when Michelle was like, I fell in love with 3 guys. I didn't expect that. It's like, come on, what are we doing here? No, you didn't. You did not. You fell in love with one fucking guy and you liked 2, and you were able to have what Jamie says spring break with the 2 guys and fall in love with 1 guy. So
don't get me fucking started on that, man.
All right, we'll see everyone next week.
Yeah.
Subscribe, and then hopefully Michelle is happily ever after.
Here's to hoping.